Hey, welcome to another episode of Legion Elite Motorsports. I'm your host, Isaiah. And today we're going to dive in on another episode of Starquest Help. We're going to be diving in on Mad Mike's other motor he picked up for a great steal of a deal. And we're going to put the other motor down to rest. He has a different plan for that one. This video is a bit long. Definitely hang in there till the end. It's definitely worth it. But yeah, so let's dive in and let's see what's what. Okay, so we are back to this engine, and basically we're at this engine to put this engine on pause and start working on another engine from Mad Mike. So I'm gonna take and box all of this stuff up, take this engine down and put our new engine up, and let's see what we're working with and kind of take it from there. Also, on a side note, I got these crankshafts here. I'm gonna take them to the machine shop, get them cleaned up. Hopefully they could be saved. They're a little rough, but you know, we'll see. Hopefully these are standard. I'll have it measured and then cleaned up before they're kept. So might be able to help somebody out with the crankshaft. Hopefully, we'll see. But yeah, so we're gonna take all of this stuff, box it up, and we're gonna put this engine on pause for a little bit, and I'm gonna show you why in just a second. Okay, and this is the engine we're going to be using. Okay, this one is for Mad Mike. Mad Mike actually found this from another member and got it for a great deal. I think the member was swapping it out for something else. Either way, this one apparently was running perfectly, and they broke the head or blew the head or something like that. Something of that nature. But what we're looking at is a 2.6 liter here, of course, and we have forged pistons. These are not stock pistons, so we have forged pistons, which pretty much of course, under great circumstances and conditions, can be very reliable in the upper 600 area, consistently. Of course, there's a lot of factors that play into that, but not going to dive into that here and now. But yeah, we're going to take this apart. No matter what engine you get from anyone, you have to go through it and make sure that it is what it's supposed to be and not damaged or anything like that. So not knocking the person who built this or anything, but you want to make sure before you put your name on it, you've gone through it thoroughly, long story short. So already, I could see some scarring on the sleeves and things of that nature, so it just needs to be cleaned up. So we're definitely going to take this one apart, label everything, get a little bit of machine shop time in there, make sure everything is good. It doesn't catch my fingernail. That means it can be saved, which is great. And, just really take it from there. It needs to be cleaned up for sure. There's oil everywhere, to be expected, used motor. So that's exactly what we're gonna do. I'm gonna take this apart, starting with the pressure plate and flywheel setup here. Now, of course, forged engine will not have a stock pressure plate and clutch assembly, so I'm expecting to see something pretty awesome. So yeah, so we're gonna take loose these 12 millimeters, and then what we're gonna do is take the pressure plate off, then we're gonna take the clutch out, then we're gonna take the flywheel out, then we're gonna mount it to this guy here, so we should be good to go. Okay, so looks like we have a competition clutch type of deal going on here, which is great. But one of the things I noticed was that that is supposed to be in this hole, and it's stuck right up under here. So again, this is why I tell you have to check everything, make sure that you know, there's no problem. This was new, but not in the right position, that's for sure. So, you know, that's not too bad. This clutch, I would say, is like for a mild setup. I wouldn't imagine you're making, you know, 400 or 500 horsepower with this type of clutch. Maybe the pressure plate, you know, good spring tension on the pressure plate, but fabric disc, I never really use them, but it is 100% up to Mike. So let's see if I can get that out of there, because it's stuck. It's not coming out. So among, and this is just an assumption, among the breaking of the head, this probably was another issue, you know, but yeah, let's keep going. So I'm gonna take this guy out. I'm gonna take these bolts loose, get this flywheel off of here, and yeah, we're gonna get ready to mount this bad boy up. Okay, so I pulled off the flywheel. Okay, and this is the back side. This isn't even the front side, but this is a 240 millimeter, which is for 88 and 89 cars. But I wanted to touch bases on something with you guys pertaining to what we're looking at here. So this is the back side. The reason I'm showing you the back side is because this is the back side of a stock 88, 89 clutch, or excuse me, flywheel, stock flywheel. Now, if you look like that, you'll notice a big difference between the two. And let me tell you why that's smart. The 88 and 89 flywheel weighs 36 pounds, okay? This is where we get our assistance with our torque for these engines, okay? I want to touch bases on flywheels with you for a second. And let me tell you the difference between what's done. So just cutting this nub off the back, like just cutting it down, takes the flywheel weight to about 21 to 22 pounds, give or take, like somewhere in that area. And that's smart because you don't want to go too light, because it'll eliminate the actual torque to the wheels. So what'll end up happening is when you go to accelerate from a dead stop, it'll be quick to try to shut off. If you let go of the clutch too quick, it'll just shut right off. But with a full weight flywheel like this one, if you let go of the clutch, it'll try to grab and pull the car to get it to accelerate. So that's the main big difference. But this here is a happy medium, right? You want to be around, you know, on a race application with lightweight forged pistons and so on and so forth. You want to be right around 20 to 22 pounds at the flywheel, not including the pressure plate assembly. So I like this. That's good. We're going to reuse that one as soon as we get it cleaned up. So let's move on to the next thing. Okay, so other engines there. We're gonna wait to see what Mike wants to do with that bad boy, but you know what we gotta do here. We're gonna tear this mug apart. Let's see what we're dealing with. So water pump, not a big deal. So we'll take these off and, okay. Yep, take the timing cover off. We're gonna take the harmonic balancer off, which is missing the EDIS wheel. So, yeah, not a big deal. And then we're gonna basically take that simple stuff off, and then we're going to take the oil pan off and probably drain it first. I don't know if it has oil in it. So drain it and then take it off. So then we'll see exactly what we got. And bend this guy back into shape. I'm pretty sure someone turned the engine and it bent the, yeah. You have to lift this up when you turn it. You can't just, anyway. So yeah, we're gonna take it apart, and sorry about the background noise. That is a fan. It is crazy hot in Florida right now. But yeah, so let's dive in. Okay, so as we continue tearing this engine apart, so far I haven't seen anything major. Pulley came off easy. Water pump, the gasket is there, but when I pulled off the water pump, it came off easy. It didn't stick to the timing cover, so no big cause for concern, but yeah, not bad. So we're gonna keep at it. We're gonna get the cover off. I'm gonna break the seal on the oil pan gasket, take a peek in there, make sure we don't see any metal shavings, animals, creatures, or whatever, and keep going. All right. Okay, timing cover is off, and there's a couple of things I noticed. No silicone anywhere. It's just straight paper. But hey, if it didn't leak, kudos. But yep, so that, we got a cork gasket, which is not too petrified. The pump is missing the slack tensioner, let's call it. We have a miscellaneous bolt used to hold down the timing chain cover, which is not a big deal. But yeah, so far not too bad. Not too bad. So this one, I'm gonna pull off the oil pump. We're gonna take off all of these accessory belts, things of that nature, and then we're gonna save the best for last, that being those pistons and rods. But before we do, let's take a look in the oil pan. Not too dirty. Seems to be something over there looking at me. Not a bug, but yeah, we're gonna get to it. But one thing I do see is Arp Main Bolts. Bravo. That is good stuff. All right. So Arp Main Bolts, and this is what I was talking about in one of my videos. You gotta modify this in such a way to actually pick up properly. But yeah, we're gonna get into that in a minute. So until then, let's take all of this down, put that aside. Then we will work on taking out the rear main seal, which is simple enough, 10 millimeter, 5 of them. And then we're going to take this pan down, and we're gonna go ahead and check it for debris, make sure everything is clean and clear, no metal shavings, things of that nature. And then we're gonna go ahead and swing this sucker upside down and check out what's on the bottom end. So yeah, let's get to it. Okay, so the pan is out. Very minimal oil. I don't see any metal shavings. It just looks like this engine was ran decently, and changing the oil wasn't really on the itinerary, because it's pretty dark in here. Usually it's like a nice gold. Not in this case, but no big deal. I see some sludge. I'm pretty sure that's not from this engine. Let's see. Yep, sludge. Okay, not that bad. I guess let me put this out there. Change your oil. Yeah, change it. So anyway, so yeah, now let's flip this engine over and start taking all of the goodies on the bottom apart. Okay, now we are on the bottom. And I definitely, I need to say that one more time, definitely have to red flag a couple of things, okay? First off, this is not sealed properly. You can see it's sticking up over here. And the last thing you want to do is suck up air, right? Next, never should you ever do this modification and have your pickup tube impale the oil pan. Now, I'm pretty sure this happened over a bit of time. I'm pretty sure this just didn't happen like this, but you could see the amount of metal fragments that could have went into the engine because of whomever did this modification did not do it properly. Yeah, that's very dangerous. You can see it was touching down right there. So that's very dangerous. I wouldn't be surprised if the reason why the oil is so black is because it was partially starving, which is another reason why we're gonna take this apart, check these bearings and make sure they're not extremely damaged. The engine rotates fairly easy. Okay, almost easy. Well, it was rotating easier earlier. But yeah, so we're gonna see regardless. We're definitely gonna see and take it from there. But this whole thing here, how they modified it, a huge no-no. Let's see. They welded that, skipped this, and yeah, that's a no-no. Definite no-no. So anyway, moving on. So we're gonna take this out. We might need to source another one because for obvious reasons, look at that. You cannot use this. That's just dangerous. But anyway, I'm sure the oil pump is good. This is gonna have to get redone. Yeah, I'm gonna leave a link in the description below of pretty much how to get the proper height off of this. I did it on a customer engine a while ago, pretty much when I first started out, and that one ended up perfect. This one's not even straight, like with the deck, right? It's supposed to be straight, and it's got a tilt. Either way, I'm gonna leave a link in the description below so you can actually take a look at how it's done properly and kind of take it from there. But so far what I see is Arp Main Bolts, which is awesome. Okay, let's see if we can see what kind of forged pistons we have here. No writing on the back. Definitely forged, 100%. With stock rods. Yeah, not bad. Okay, well, yeah, we're gonna dive in some more and see what else we discover. Okay, first piston out. All right. It looks like it used to have some sort of a coating on it, but it all got scraped away. Looks very metallic-y. So this has to do with, well, piston to wall clearances and also piston slap, it looks like. I mean, it's not cracked or anything like that, but the thing is that you got to let your engine warm up before you start abusing it. But besides that, you could really see in these grooves, they neglected to change the oil. Look at the rings. You see all of the burnt oil there? You got to stay on top of your oil changes. That is mandatory. Yeah, I mean, besides that, I'm going to let the machine shop decipher if these are savable or if they need to be recoated maybe or something. I'm gonna see. But yeah, the bearings actually decided to stick to the crankshaft, so I'm gonna peel those off and we're gonna take a look at those in just a second. But also before we do, we have ARP rod bolts too. So ARP full bottom end, good choice, good choice. So yeah, and then also I'm gonna label cylinder 1 through 4 Visa zip ties, 1 for 1, 2 for 2, so on and so forth, so there'll be no confusion what piston is in what bore or port. So let's get to it. Check out those bottom bearings coming up next. Okay, these are the shells bearings from cylinder number 1. Okay, so it was about to get bad. It's not that bad. I mean, it's bad. Don't get me wrong, but it's not that bad. Now, feeling the oil, and this is why this is so important. Just feeling the oil, you see, is real streaky, which leads me to believe that this engine was ran on synthetic fluid, synthetic oil, period. Synthetic oil, even though it is an oil, I don't know why. These engines don't do well with synthetic oil. Maybe, someone's had success with synthetic. You never know until you pull your engine apart, but synthetic oil, I want to say, cleans too much where it doesn't give any backbone for protection. I'm pretty sure that's varied. It's 2022. I'm pretty sure there's some synthetic oils that kick butt, but whatever they used, not good. Not good. Yeah, look at that. That's okay. So these bearings come with a protective coating on it. From new, right? All of it is gone. There is no protective coating, okay, at all. Also, I was hoping that this crankshaft was standard. Standard stuff seems to work a lot better. But these are 0.25, so the crankshaft is cut, which is not a bad thing. I'm pretty sure we'll be able to get some new bearings and stuff like that in there, and also micro polish the crankshaft to make sure this doesn't happen again. Usually most metals have pores, and the pores like to grab other materials, whether it be bearings, whether it be anything else. So micro polishing is kind of a good safety just to make sure that nothing really sticks to it. Also, I recommend with the new bearings running conventional 1030. I've had the most success with running conventional. Weird, but it's just what I've noticed. So let me show you something really fast. I have a personal engine of my own, actually the spare, which I wasn't going to show you guys until way later because that engine's going to get built soon. But I want to pull out some of the shells just to show you guys what I mean about the stock protective coating. So this engine here has about, I want to say 120,000 miles, right? You say that light grayish color that's there, like this right here, that is protective coating. This is what your engine should look like even after abuse. Just to give you an idea, okay? And these are, let's see. Okay, here it is. These are standard. I don't know if you could see it, but see if I can. Well, these are standard. Take my word for it. They are standard bearings, and they still have the stock protective coating that comes on all of these bearings, you know? So that's just a difference, just to show you what, you know, your engine should look like when you take it apart. This one is in pretty decent shape. We'll dive in on this one a little bit later, but let's jump back to the other one. I just wanted to show you guys the difference. Okay, so we're gonna jump off of these bearings. We still have more bearings to check. We still have to check the main bearings, which we are not gonna get to until we take out the rest of these pistons. So I'm going to put number 1 on this one, a little zip tie, and then we will continue. Check out the rest of the bearings. And piston number 2. Okay, looking pretty much the same. Okay, and bearings, nice and ready to go. All right, so we'll put this one over with the next one. Okay, that's good there. Let's get piston number 3. Okay, piston number 3, exactly the same as the rest. And alrighty, 3 is over there. I need to grab the other bearing. They all look the same. Alrighty, see that there. Yep. Okay. So, a lot of people build engines. Some people either don't know or skip the most crucial parts. In order to make sure that these bearings don't get chewed up, it's as simple as line bore honing the connecting rod to make sure you have the proper clearance for each bearing. That's it. But anyway, yeah, let's take on number 4. Okay, and this one is exactly the same as the other ones with dirty oil buildup. And yeah, okay, let's check out these bearings for cylinder number 4. Let's see if I can get this thing to focus. All right, there we are. Ooh, this one's grabbing the fingernail. And this is the other one. Oh yeah. That's gonna blow. Alrighty, so that is done. We're gonna mark this one piston number 4. And next is the crankshaft. Let's see what we got there. Okay. First one out. I see a lot of oil sludge build up there. Fairly decent amount. All right. It looks like they line bore honed this, but I don't know if correctly. Let's take a look at these bearings. Maybe they picked up something from the pickup tube or something. I'm not sure. But Yeah, that sucker's gone. Yeah, there's... Oh yeah, that's catching. Look at that. I can lift it up from it catching. And let's see what size these are. Okay, point 25. Okay. So 0.25 all the way around. That's not too terrible. I think we might be able to clean this up for old Mike. But, woo, yeah. If he would have put this in his car, he would have had a couple months, maybe, before it died. But, yeah, okay. All right, well, that's shell number 1 immediately from the front. So that's that one right there. I'm getting a little, just the slightest little something. It's not catching, but it's not smooth. So hopefully that can be cleaned up and saved. Should be. I mean, worst case, it'll be cut and then we'll get a new set of bearings. But yeah, let's take the rest of them apart. All right, number 2. And remember, these are all labeled, so you can't get them wrong. So, and then arrow faces towards the timing chain. So yeah, this is number 2. All right, so what I'm gonna do, so this video isn't super long, is I'm gonna take all of these out and then just line them up. I think that'll be simpler. Okay, so we got them all out. This is the center one. This goes in between 2 and 4. This is journal number 3. And this one, here we go, 3. This one has the thrust washer on it. So the thrust washer part seems to be, let me see, seems to be pretty good for the most part. So clutch engagement and stuff like that didn't affect too much. You can still see some of the factory coating that I was showing you guys there, which is good. But here, I am convinced that he sucked up some metal. That's what was the cause of this soon-to-be failure. He sucked up some metal through that janky pickup tube. So, yeah. Because you could see there's a deep groove on each center portion where oil's supposed to go. See, on each and every one of them. And of course, after you float out around for a bit, yeah, it gets bad. So, yeah, okay, so duly noted. I will, yeah, take this to the machine shop and see what's what. And with that being said, we're going to call it an episode right there. Hope you guys found it interesting and helpful in some way, shape, or form. There's a lot of good tidbits in there of what to look out for, what's good, what's not good, and so on and so forth. But remember, guys, knowledge is 100% power, and I will see you guys next time.